Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz, and on today's video I'm going to talk about the continuous brew system for making kombucha. I'm also going to show you how I do it and then talk about the pros and cons. So what is continuous brew kombucha? Continuous brew kombucha is where you have a system set up in a vessel that has a dispenser, and you take out, when the kombucha is finished, you take out 25 to 30% of the finished kombucha. You then add in the same amount of fresh tea. So because the finished kombucha has the bacteria and yeast, it will convert the fresh tea over to kombucha a lot sooner. Usually within 1 to 3 days, and that will depend on the temperature. It's called continuous brew because it's constantly brewing. You're constantly getting fresh kombucha out of it. Just as a comparison, this jar right here, I usually do batch brewing, and if you've watched my other videos, then you know that I usually use a ball jar and I do what's called batch brewing, so I do it in batches. So I think I started this one last week. Once it's finished, I'll drain almost all of it out. I'll fill 6 bottles. I have 6 bottles here because that's what each of them would fill. I'll fill up 6 bottles. I'll leave enough finished kombucha to get the next batch started, and that's my process. But this one is for continuous brew, and I started doing this again just to show you guys in a video. So this is a 1 gallon jar. So it will fill 6 16-ounce bottles, and that's what I have. I have a variety of different bottles here. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'll speed this up. The flow of my dispenser was kind of slow. So there's probably some SCOBY stuck in there. There's an easy way to clean it. I'll do a video on that. But if you're in need of it now, before I film that video, what you can do is put a bowl underneath the dispenser, turn it on, and then take a pipe cleaner. You can get them at craft stores. And while the dispenser is running and kombucha is coming out, you would stick the pipe cleaner up there and you'll get pieces of SCOBY. Sometimes it'll just fall out into the jar, which is great because then your dispenser opens back up and it flows better. So I've removed 2 16-ounce bottles worth of tea. I'm now going to add in some fresh tea. So here I have 4 cups of tea. Just remove the top, and then you're just going to pour the kombucha right into the top of the jar. If the SCOBY sinks, don't worry, it'll float back up. Just like that. And then you'll see it kicked up some of the yeast that was on the bottom. And every so often I'll change my napkin to keep it fresh. Pretty simple, right? So again, you're going to, whatever size jar you have, if you have you might have a 2 gallon jar. Mine again are 1 gallon jars. You're gonna remove 25 to 30% of the finished kombucha. Immediately afterwards, add in the same amount of fresh tea. Wait however many days. So you'll have to taste it, and in the warmer months it'll be done sooner than in the winter months. The warmer it is, the faster things will ferment. Fill it back up, and then a couple more days you'll have some more kombucha. How to make your tea. So I making that much tea every 2 days to me is way too much work. I'm not going to do it. So what I do is I will make 3 batches worth. So I would make 3 of these in fresh tea, because you don't want your tea to sit too long, even in the fridge, because it'll just go bad. For my recipe, for this jar, I use 1.5 cups of sugar and then 8 to 10 tea bags, varying back and forth. Sometimes I use 10, sometimes I use 8. So I'll make that in this jar, and then I fill it to, what do I have here? 6 cups. So it's thicker because of all the sugar. Then I put it in the fridge. When I've removed my finished kombucha, I take out 2 cups into a measuring cup, and then I'll add 2 more cups of water. So I'm making this condensed to store it for sake of ease. And then when I'm ready to add it to the vessel, I will dilute it. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. If you have questions, just leave me a comment. I'll explain better. In the past, when I had a 2-gallon jar doing this, I would double it up. So I would do 3 cups of sugar, 20 tea bags, but still fill it up to the 6. So I could store it condensed. That way my whole fridge doesn't have just tea in it for my kombucha. And then you just add the water when you're ready to use it. I'm not going to go over it again, but if you have questions, let me know. If you don't mind making tea every day or every 2 days, then you could just make the tea fresh that day and add it into the jar. Just make sure that it's cooled down to room temperature. Pros and cons. I know people that have been brewing kombucha for years and years and years, and the only method they've ever used is continuous brew, and they love it. They feel like they always have kombucha ready. They never have to wait 12 days. It's always there. It's good just drinking it right out of the dispenser, or if they want to flavor it, they can do that too. Then I know people that hate doing continuous brew, and I was one of those people until recently. I started this just for the sake of doing the video because I wanted to share it. So I first started doing continuous brew in 2014 in a 2-gallon jar, and at first it was great, but then once I let it go too long and it got a little sour, and then I could never fix it. So I had to completely throw away all of the kombucha, 2 gallons, and start fresh. Now sometimes if I were to let this go too long, I could take out about 60 to 75% of it. So most of the kombucha is gone. Add fresh tea. The fresh tea will ferment a little bit faster with all the remaining kombucha, and that will kind of take away the sour, the vinegar taste. It doesn't always work though. So when I did it in the past, it didn't work. Then I put it away for a year and said I wanted to try it again, and I tried it again and the same thing happened. So then I just gave up on it, and I still have that 2-gallon kombucha vessel in my closet. This time, however, it's been working well. I've been doing this method for about 2 months, only with this jar. This one is batch brewing. And I'm going to keep doing it unless it turns to vinegar. Me personally, I would rather do it all at once. So I would rather just drain this, fill up 6 bottles, make a fresh batch, wait the 12 days. That way I'm not always getting my stuff out and pouring things in. I just think it's easier. However, it's only 2 bottles and it's worked out for me fine. That's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about continuous brew or batch brewing, please feel free to leave me a comment. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell notification, and I'll see you in the next video.